Thank you, Sags. Well, the contrast in Inter's fortunes over the last 2 decades has been remarkable. In the second half of the noughties, the Nerazzurri were the dominant force in Italian football, propelled by the goals of Zlatan Ibrahimovic and the defensive stoicism of Javier Zanetti, driven by Roberto Mancini and then Jose Mourinho. 5 successive league titles marked the most sustained spell of success in their history, and it culminated in a remarkable 2010. The league and Coppa Italia already in the bag when Diego Milito's brace saw off Bayern Munich at the Bernabeu, indelibly writing Inter's name in Italian footballing folklore as the country's first team to win the treble. It was a remarkable achievement. It wasn't, though, the precursor to continued domination. The following day, Mourinho confirmed he wanted to go to Real Madrid, and that was that. They did retain the Coppa Italia the next season, but they haven't won any silverware since. 9 long years, a run that could end tonight, as Inter hope that this European final will have the same dramatic effect on their history as the last one, but for the better this time. As the dust on the Nerazzurri trophy cabinet has slowly grown, tonight's opponents have made this trophy their own. A hat-trick of successes in the middle of the decade followed the back-to-back triumphs in 2006 and 7. And nobody's got a better record in this competition since its inauguration as the UEFA Cup in the early 70s. Julien Lopetegui's been quick to point out that heritage counts for nothing tonight. He himself is yet to win a managerial honour. This is a completely different set of players to the last successful team that beat Liverpool in 2016. That is, with one exception. Ever Banega, the Argentinian party boy of Spanish football, is famed for his off-field antics as copious contribution, played that night. He was man of the match in Sevilla's triumph the previous year as well. Tonight, he bids farewell to the club that's become his spiritual home with his 238th and final appearance for Los Nervionenses, a fitting conclusion to his spell at the club, ahead of a move to Saudi Arabia, particularly as he faces one of his old employers in the process. And will his parting shot increase the Nerazzurri wait for a trophy into a 10th year? This is how they line up. Inter, Handanovic in goal, Godin, De Vrij and Bastoni, D'Ambrosio, Barella, Brozovic, Gagliardini and Young, Lukaku and Martinez up front. Sevilla, Bono in goal, Navas, Koundé, Diego Carlos, Reguilon, then Jordan, Fernando and Banega, Suso, De Jong and Ocampos up front. Inter in their blue and black striped shirts with black shorts, and Sevilla in white shirts and shorts with red trim and black socks. So can Inter Milan end their longest trophy drought since 1963? To do so, they need to beat the most decorated side in the history of this competition, Sevilla, who could end the night having won it twice as many times as anybody else. Danny Makely from the Netherlands is the referee, and the 2020 Europa League final is underway. Davy Connolly alongside me. We're watching the pictures from our monitors in London. Game taking place in Cologne tonight with Inter, as we look at these pictures, kicking from left to right in the first half in what has the makings of being an absorbing, intriguing Europa League final.
It certainly does, and just looking at how Sevilla are lining up, it looks like maybe they've got the 2 holders there. You know, Fernando maybe and Jordan just in front of the 2 Inter Milan centre forwards. Obviously, what a threat they are, just trying to prevent those 2 receiving the ball. We'll have to see where Banega plays, whether he just roams or is a fixed 10.
Jordan involved in the midfield battle. Excellent crossfield ball for Ocampos, who's hooked it down the left-hand touchline. Reguilon chasing after it and claiming that he was caught in the face there by D'Ambrosio. He's gone down holding his mouth, and D'Ambrosio has conceded the free kick, which will be taken a couple of yards in from the left-hand touchline, about 5 or 6 yards from the dead ball line. And Danny Makely, the referee, has got players from both teams around him. The Inter players are absolutely adamant that there was nothing wrong with the challenge. The Sevilla players think it was a red card offence. It was D'Ambrosio who's coming back, and he has just pushed out an arm to try and stop Reguilon. Certainly hasn't caught him in the part of the face that Reguilon is claiming that he's been hit, but the free kick has been given, and it's an early opportunity for Sevilla to get a really good set piece inside the penalty area with Suso.
Oh, it came from really good football from Sevilla, switching the play. Ocampos out wide, holding his line, then Reguilon running on the inside. And I think you can see Banega immediately appealing for a card.
So this free kick, Suso, away swinger, in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Plenty of bodies going for it. It's come off Campos. He's actually out of play, far a deflection, so it'll be a Savilla throw, and Campos is waving everybody inside that penalty area with an opportunity to launch it long. Fernando's made his way forward towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Here he comes from Campos. Plenty of loop on it. Goalkeeper's made a mess of it. It's fired inside the penalty area and blocked. It was Fernando with the effort. And now the counter-attack could be on. It's been well won by Inter with Barella. Out towards Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku with a real test for Diego Carlos. To test, he's failed. He's had a penalty for Inter Milan inside the opening 3 minutes of the game. Diego Carlos has started the quarter-final and semi-final slowly, giving away an early penalty on both occasions, and he just got done for pace by Romelu Lukaku on the counter-attack. It's going to be a yellow card, and the Inter players are claiming it should be a red because they believe he's made no attempt whatsoever to play the ball.
Well, he didn't. It should be a red. I mean, this is Lukaku at his absolute best. Lethal, just knocked it past Carlos, and we saw that, didn't we, against Wolves? Traore using his pace and power here. Just Lukaku knocks it past him, then cuts across him, really intelligent. Just works his way into the box, and there's a definite stamp on the heel of Lukaku inside the box, down the right-hand side of it. What a start, what an opportunity this is for Inter.
And lightning has struck for a third time for Diego Carlos. Gave away that early penalty against Wolves, which Jimenez missed. Gave away one against Manchester United, which Bruno Fernandes scored. And he's given away one again tonight, inside the opening 3.5 minutes. That's 3 successive games in which the Brazilian has seen a spot kick go against him inside the opening 12 or 13 minutes of the night. The yellow card has been shown by referee Danny McAlee. There is VAR tonight. It's Joachim Campos, and I just wonder whether he was in the ear of the referee saying that he believed it should be a red card offence. But the bottom line is that Romelu Lukaku has the opportunity from the penalty spot to get Inter off to the perfect start. A devastating burst of pace from Lukaku, setting up this opportunity, but can he convert it himself? The ball's spotted down, perspiration running off his brow, down towards his right eye, a little stutter, and he's got it into the bottom left-hand corner, squeezes it under Bono, who went the right way. It's goal number 34 of a magnificent season for Romelu Lukaku. First blood to Inter in the final, from the spot, with less than 5 minutes play.
That's really well taken, and it had to be against Bono because he's got such a good record. Obviously, Said Jimenez's pen went the right way for Fernandes. This time, though, he guesses right, but it's right in the corner. Perfectly placed, down low. Cool as ice, Lukaku. I'm so pleased with him. He's in the form of his life. Great composure. He just knew he had the beating of Carlos. I mean, they would have watched the tapes like we all did, just seeing how vulnerable they are at the back. Especially the pace, height, you name it. This Inter front two have got it all, and especially that man Lukaku on his own. He can win this game.
But Diego Carlos, a wry shake of the head, but he was done for pace. And as I say, it's the third successive game in which he's conceded an early penalty. It's been no impediment to them all told over the last two, but in this final they have to do what they did in the semi-final, and that's come from behind for victory. Romelu Lukaku's goal, and Inter Milan lead it by 1-0. His 34th goal of the season, his 41st for club and country, and he's continued his remarkable run. He's now scored in a record-breaking 11 consecutive ties in this competition, 15 goals in that run. The last Europa League tie he didn't score in was for Everton against Lille back in November 2014. And Lopetegui's men have so much work to do. 6.5 gone. Sevilla trailing by 1-0, and they will have talked about the pace of Lukaku and how you deal with it, but one counter-attack is all it's taken for Sevilla to be undone.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously those spaces that we could see against United, we've seen here again, haven't we, on the turnover with the full-backs high. Got an awful lot of ground to cover, unless you've got another one back like Fernando, and none of them are really blessed with any sort of speed in the Sevilla back line, none of them. Maybe Navas, possibly, that would be it. Reguilon as the left back, but he's often playing as a left wing back.
Inter head the ball forward into Sevilla territory. Inter kicking from left to right in their black and blue stripes. Has gone out of play for a throw, which will be taken on their right-hand side again. There's never been a sending off in the Europa League final. I think there probably should have been in the early stages today. It'll be interesting to see what other officials have made of it, but I don't think there was any attempt really from Diego Carlos to play the ball.
I don't get the play acting either, do you, Jim? I mean, that was obviously trying to avoid a red card, feigning injury, riding on the ground, and he's straight, back up after the pen, back on the pitch, and he's running around like normal. But he just didn't give himself enough room, didn't give himself enough yardage. Maybe, I don't know, did Lukaku's speed take him by surprise? I doubt it, but just got far too close to him, too tight. And as soon as you feel Lukaku, I mean, he's just going to outmaneuver you, that is for sure.
Ball out of play, throw, which D'Ambrosio takes for Inter. Up the right-hand touchline. Lukaku able to guide it on. Barella, Martinez couldn't quite get the purchase to flick it back into Lukaku's path. And it's knocked away. It's the hugely impressive youngster Bastoni, who only made his first league appearance for Inter back in late September. Here he is, 11 months on in a European final, and an integral part of this three-man back line. Here's another one of them, Godin, hoping to win this competition yet again. 4 from him to Lukaku.
Well, that's brave. That's really brave from Savilla, Jim, because they're committing so many players to go and press Inter, playing out in their own box. If they get bypassed, it's a 2v2. I mean, you can't leave Martinez and Lukaku 2v2 against Carlos and Koundé.
Ball out for a throw, which D'Ambrosio will take. 9 minutes in, it's already Sevilla 0, Inter Milan 1. Our coverage of the Europa League final on TalkSport is brought to you with McDonald's McDelivery. Order McDelivery now on the Uber Eats app. We deliver. Here's Barella controlling it on the right-hand touchline. He's flicked it off the nearest Sevilla player. It looks as though it went out of play for an Inter throw, but it's been given Sevilla's way. And there was a very angry reaction from both him and Antonio Conte in his white shirt with already the top button undone and the tie halfway down his navel. He was far from happy. There was 2-3 touches from the Sevilla player, one with his hand, and he did get the last touch, Reguilon, and it should have been an Inter Milan throw, but it's gone the other way, and then they get a free kick on halfway as Luuk de Jong is brought to the ground. Luuk de Jong, who ended his long run without a goal in Europe against Manchester United in the semi-final. And Romelu Lukaku's already got his name on the score sheet before de Jong's had a touch tonight. Here comes Sevilla, right-hand side of the midfield. 10 gone, 1-0 to the Italians. Ever Banega rolling it forward for Ocampos, building the play up quickly in a central position with Banega. 20 yards outside the penalty area, Fernando, who won the competition with Porto prior to his Manchester City days, lays it out towards the right for Navas, whose ball in is dealt with a little bit awkwardly from De Vrij. Just struggled to adjust his feet and get it away, but he did clear it. Goes out of play for the first corner of the night, which goes to Sevilla. Well,
really good ball, as you'd expect from Navas, right along the 6-yard box. No one really gambling. Ocampos a bit slow, caught on his heels. If that was Bayern Munich, you'd have Thomas Muller getting across the near post.
De Jong in there trying to get free, peels away towards the back post. The corner is hit deep in towards him. He won the first touch. The overhead kick is errant on the right-hand side of the penalty edge, clipped back in by Navas. 3 Sevilla players going for the same ball, amongst them Diego Carlos. It was he that misjudged the overhead kick, incidentally. It just went sideways rather than towards goal, but Sevilla still have it on the right-hand touchline, the far side as we look at it, with Jesus Navas in possession. Played down the touchline by him. He's looking to win this competition for a third time. He was part of the side that won the UEFA Cup back in 2006 and 2007 with Sevilla. Victories against Middlesbrough and Espanyol. He's in possession again now as he works it down the right-hand touchline. Good movement from Jordan off the ball, finding it in a pocket of space inside the inter box. Navas with the ball into De Jong, 1-1, flying near post header from Luke De Jong. Another brilliant delivery from Jesus Navas, and Sevilla are back in the game. Only 6.5 minutes after going behind, Luke De Jong with a magnificent header, and Danovic can only help it into the roof of the net, and it's game on in Cologne. Sevilla 1, Inter Milan 1.
Oh, it's a great goal. Superb movement here from the Sevilla front man, Luke De Jong. Times his run really well, gets the ball out wide, he just cuts across, then Godin gets across the near post. Terrific run, perfectly timed, heads it down low, and Danovic gets a hand to it, but he can't quite keep it out. But it's the cross that makes it. Another brilliant, outstanding delivery from Navas. You could say, did Young get close enough? One thing you've got to do when you go out and close Navas down, you've got to get in his face. You've got to try and block the ball. He doesn't. Ball comes in and the finish is superb. I mean, that's what De Jong has done all his career. Finish from crosses, brilliant with his head.
And at the 190th goal of his career, and the most important of them all, 1-1 in the 2020 final, inside the opening 12 minutes.
Well, you just wonder with that cross just prior to that, when no one gambled across the near, but they got a corner. Maybe De Jong felt, you know what, if no one else is, maybe I've got to do that. But he just dragged Godin away and then just made perfect little run in front of him just to create the space. But you need someone to put it in there, and that's exactly what Navas did.
Well, Sevilla have got a fantastic record in the finals of this competition. They've played 5 and won them all. But interestingly, in each of the last 3, despite going on to win, they failed to open the scoring. Firstly against Benfica, that one 0-0 after 120 went to penalties. Then against Dnipro, where they conceded first, came back to win. And they did that against Liverpool as well the following year in 2016. Went 1-0 down, but hit back to win by 3-1. And again tonight, doing it the Sevilla way, if you like, going a goal down, but back on level terms very quickly. It's 1-1 with 14 play on TalkSport. Sevilla hoping to extend their unbeaten run to 21. Their last defeat coming against Celta Vigo back on February the 8th, and it's been an excellent response from them to the early concession. They're in possession now. Campos was fouled. The referees played the advantage. De Jong works it to Suso. Suso coming in onto his left foot off that right flank, finds Banega. The thick-set, bearded Argentinian to his left-hand side for Reguilon. Now to Campos. Campos slightly behind square for Suso, who will take it on away, try and get past Gagliardini. Can't quite do that. He can set up a Campos, but his right-footed shot was comfortably blocked by the diving Samir Handanovic, and it's 1-1 on TalkSport. David Connolly.
Well, Sevilla again showing what they're made of. Really confident, calm and composed in possession. Another move of must be 10-15 passes, work their way to the edge of the box. Campos not the cleanest of strikes, but still just shows you what they're all about here. Sevilla dominating the ball possession, working their way closer to goal.
Now the first shot on target we've had tonight that hasn't gone in. 1-1 the scoreline. Worked forward by D'Ambrosio, too high for Martinez, headed away by Diego Carlos. One back in the midfield by Gagliardini. Godin will head it back to his goalkeeper, Handanovic. Handanovic, a veteran at the age of 36. So much experience, more than 600 club games behind him, but his first European final. Forward to Diego Godin, who's in his 5th, having won this competition twice and lost the Champions League twice.
Yeah, I mean, that goal he conceded wasn't too dissimilar to Havertz, you know, in terms of he got a bit of a contact on the ball, but couldn't quite keep it out. I mean, I have seen Handanovic at times have some great games, but he might be a little bit disappointed. I mean, look, I think the pace and the power on the head up from De Jong took it past him, but still.
It is only the second goal that they've conceded in the last 8 games as well. A stellar defensive record, the best in Serie A. They're on the front foot now. Barella almost able to flick it around the corner towards Lukaku, and they're adamant that the ball hit the hand in there. The referee has stopped it straight away. 4 Inter players around the referee, and the Sevilla players getting involved as well. It was Barella clipped it in left-footed, And what's that hit? It's hit Diego Carlos on the left hand.
Yep. I mean, really cute little clever pass here, just trying to get it in between two players to Lukaku in the box. I mean, Makelele's just the referee, the Dutch referee, he's shaking his head saying no, absolutely no chance, but there is a pause in play here, whether that's because the ball's gone out. Well, it's a handball.
It had gone out of play for a throw, and I think what the Inter players are saying, just have a look at the monitor.
Yeah.
Now, the left arm is down by the side of his body, but it's not right in close to his body. Diego Carlos is left-handed. It is just out of fraction. There doesn't appear to be any huge movement of the hand towards the ball, but Jochen Kamphaus, the VAR.
Well, against Leverkusen, I'm sure if you remember, was it a Leverkusen game? Well, I think they gave Inter 2 penalties there. The referee did, and they were both overturned after he went to the monitor.
Well, Antonio Conte is irate, and he's just received the yellow card for his dissent. And you can understand it from an Inter perspective. Diego Carlos didn't get away with the foul on Lukaku, but he has got away with that. And it remains 1-1 with 17 gone, and play does continue with Inter having to play out from the back. They've got to keep their heads here in these circumstances because they feel hard done by. They sweep the ball out towards the left-hand touchline. It's the first chance for Ashley Young to have a run at Jesus Navas. Two players who played against each other in numerous Manchester derbies. He's played it inside the area, and D'Ambrosio made a great run forward, but on his weaker foot, his left, he's hooked it over the bar.
A really good move here, flowing from Milan from one side of the pitch to the other. Ashley Young, what a pick out. I think he might have been aiming for Lukaku, just skipped ahead of him into D'Ambrosio. Went with the first time finish but couldn't keep it down, but breathless game again, end to end. Tempo's absolutely terrific.
Sevilla 1, Inter 1. Suso bringing the ball forward down the right hand touchline for Sevilla. Former Liverpool man checks and plays it back into the midfield for Fernando. Now it comes down for Reguilon to a Campos, and a Campos unsubtly blocked off right on the edge of the penalty area by D'Ambrosio. And this will be a free kick, and he's gone down holding his face. Mentioned earlier, there's never been a sending off in the Europa League final. Already this game has the feeling of being one where there might be, and he's gone down holding his face, and the replay shows there was no contact whatsoever with his face.
No, absolutely. I think both sides here obviously know that any little advantage will count. This game might be decided on, could be anything, 2 yellows, could be a red, whatever it may be. They've got to appeal for everything, any little advantage. But D'Ambrosio, it was a foul, make no mistake, but he didn't make contact in the face.
Well, the free kick will be taken level with the edge of the penalty area, and it'll be a right-footed in-swinger this time. Suso, who took an early one from this position, played it in with his left. This is an in-swinger from Banega. It's headed away. And the counter-attack could be on as it's headed away into space, and Martinez will be able to break forward. He's picked it up and he's run 20 yards and 30 yards, and he's got Lukaku in support. He might not need him, and he goes wide and he goes down inside the area, and that was a dive, and Navas told him so. And everybody is at it. Already the referee has completely lost control of this game, because 20 minutes in, having given one penalty, not given another that he probably should have done, been conned for a couple of free kicks, they're all going down all over the place, and this is feisty and naughty now. 20 gone, 1-1.
Yeah, but Lukaku's not happy because he made a long bursting run and catch up with Martinez. I mean, Sevilla was smart. They kept Navas back on that set piece because he's got the pace. As it was almost 1v1. Terrible defending, shocking from Sevilla. And actually, by the time Lukaku made up with Martinez, he's got to lay him in. He goes on his own, a bit selfish. We spoke about that, didn't we? You know, at the start of the show, that decision-making at times from Lautaro Martinez. I think he doesn't necessarily play for the team. He's a bit selfish. Look, you need that as a centre-forward, but against Getafe, he got it wrong at times. He certainly got it wrong there. He should have played it into Lukaku, and he probably should be booked for diving.
Luke de Jong has just picked up a bang as Diego Godin made the back for him. And de Jong has gone down, a heavy fall. It's okay, he's back on his feet, the Dutchman, who has scored tonight. He got the equaliser, 1-1 with 20 minutes played here on TalkSport. It's Ever Banega plays it through the middle of the midfield but loses out. Lukaku then works it in. Koundé was in with a strong challenge on Martinez, and the referee has let that go. And now Banega will sweep it out towards the left-hand side for Reguilon. Good movement off the ball comes from a Campos. That's drawn Godin out of position. Campos checks, comes back inside onto his right foot, goes for the near post. Got the power, clever, but not quite the angle, and Handanovic just about had it covered as it hit the side netting and goes wide.
Yeah, these two dovetail so well on this left-hand side. Reguilón and Ocampos, little scissor movement, goes into one, the other one goes on the inside. Again, Ocampos ducking in, trying to get a shot off with his right peg. At times, I think he's got to look for his centre-forward, look for De Jong. The deliveries aren't going to come in from the left as often as the right, you know, with Navas and that natural right footer. So, De Jong just has to be a little bit patient.
Martinez, the back heel, which D'Ambrosio was able to rescue, slightly misdirected. Barella now can play it back towards Martinez, coming in off the right flank, taking Reguilón with him. Banega does well, wins it back, wriggles away from D'Ambrosio. He doesn't go down. It's a free kick though, which will be taken about 10 yards outside his own penalty area. 1-1 the score. We're midway through the first half on TalkSport. Jim Bradford and David Connolly talking you through the action from our monitors in London. Game taking place in Cologne at the Rhine Energy Stadion. It's the first meeting between these two sides in European competition. Sevilla have a pretty decent record against Italian sides. They beat Roma in the round of 16. They knocked Lazio out last season. Also beat Fiorentina in the semis back in 2015. And it's an even contest between these two tonight. Possession, as you probably could have predicted, 60-40 in Sevilla's favour. He's given it away here as the ball is skied down the touchline by Jesus Navas, who's making his 526th appearance for Sevilla today. He's gone out for a throw which will be taken on the into left-hand side by Ashley Young. Young just asking for a little bit of clarification as to where the referee wants the throw taken from. Throws it down for Bastoni, who finds the fry. The Dutchman, who was voted the best defender in Serie A this season, plays it to his right-hand side for Godin. Back from him to D'Ambrosio. And then Godin will just work it back to De Vrij, who's the deepest of the three centre-halves for a moment, the one in the middle. And he's played it to his right-hand side for Brozovic. Brozovic is making his 200th appearance for Inter tonight. Now to Godin. Godin comes over halfway, checks, does a full 360. Not too many passing options around. He can get it into the chest of Lukaku. Lukaku's done brilliantly. He's controlled it and then almost sent a perfect ball spinning over the head of Navas. Does actually find Ashley Young. Young hooks it back inside the box. Heads go up for it. D'Ambrosio is taking up some very good advanced positions down that right flank for Inter from wing back. But he couldn't control Ashley Young's cross. And he goes out to play for a throw that Ocampos will take. And we played 24 minutes at 1-1.
It's been a great game. Really good game so far. You can see both managers, both coaches kicking every ball. I mean, Lopetegui made a big call, didn't he? Not to start in this area. I mean, in this area gives you a bit more athleticism up top. He'll chase, he'll run, he'll hunt down everything. He's got that pace to run in behind. A bit more mobile maybe than De Jong. But maybe he's gone, I don't know, for a bit more experience, maybe a bit more of a wall to play off up against that brilliant Inter back line. Obviously, he's really accomplished at finishing from crosses. Maybe that's why he got the call. Obviously, nicked the goal, didn't he, against United? But still, it's a big call from the manager. Very big.
We'll say that he's been vindicated. The side have a free kick now as Campos is caught on the bottom of the right leg by D'Ambrosio. He gets back to his feet with flakes of grass, blades of grass on his face, sticking to the sweat on what by the look of it is another warm and humid night in Cologne. Ball headed away by De Vrij, brought down in the midfield by Savilla, and it comes down towards Banega. Banega attacking the edge of the penalty area, down to the left-hand side of the box. Played in by Reguilón, clipped in right-footed, heads go up for Uza. Really important header away by Bastoni. Comes out towards Jesus Navas. Navas will work it out towards the left-hand side again for Reguilón. Reguilón's ball forward. Campos able to pick it up. Strapping round that troublesome right thigh, but he has been past fit to play tonight. Not showing any ill effects of the injury. Here's Navas, good ball from him in towards Campos. Great movement from the left-hand side of the area out towards the right, and he's controlled it at inside right and then wins the throw off Ashley Young, which will be taken on the Sevilla right-hand touchline. 26 gone at 1-1.
Well, we've seen that at times, haven't we, from Campos playing out on the left, but when they do switch to play with that big switch from Banega and it lands at the feet of Navas, Campos makes that diagonal run. He almost becomes a second centre forward. There he is receiving in the box. Ashley Young just tried to stop him going wide. Navas forced it infield, but Campos, that willing runner,
And he's got this good long throw on him again. We're going to see it. Second time tonight. Hurled in towards the penalty spot. De Jong just eased under the flight of it by Bastoni, who headed it away. And then Lautaro Martinez thought that he won possession back, getting the better of Jesus Navas. But a free kick's been given against him. And Navas controlling the ball a little bit awkwardly with his right foot and then his head. And then as he tried to turn, the arms came up from Martinez. And the free kick has been given. And Banega will stand over it. This one's about 11 yards outside the penalty area, very much over towards the right-hand side of the box. Banega and Ocampos, the two Argentinians, taking control of the situation. Koundé, the French centre-half, stands at the back post. De Jong peeling away into that back post area. It was fired in with real pace and headed over the bar from distance by Ocampos, and his manager, Julien Lopetegui, far from happy with the way that set-piece failed to be executed the way it had worked in training. 27 gone, it's 1-1.
Yeah, the reason is because obviously now they've got De Jong in there. It's another player, can score from balls in the box. We've seen Koundé at times against Wolves, against Roma, a real threat. But didn't quite take his chances. They need to get that delivery right. But just going back to that,
as Young plays it forward, and Lukaku onside, left-hand side of the penalty area, nothing in the way of support, twists away from Navas, then Koundé helps it in, hopefully inside the penalty area where it's clear by the Sevilla back line. Young will get it again, plays it to the left, Gagliardini, right-footed ball in from him, heads go up for it, and it's guarded wide by D'Ambrosio. Sevilla defenders not happy. They felt Young's ball forward caught Lukaku in an offside position, and indeed the VAR might well have agreed with them, but it was close enough that the linesman kept his flag down. Play continued, but Inter couldn't make the most of it.
Yeah, he sprung the offside trap again, Lukaku, but they're delivering from much deeper Inter, whereas you look at Sevilla, they work the ball much closer to goal, don't they? And it's a more dangerous cross. When you've got to finish it, you're finishing from 5-6 yards out. You look at Milan there, getting a header off from in and around the penalty spot. Very difficult to score from there. But just going back to that possible pen, it was the Leverkusen game that Milan got 2 penalties, and both, the referee gave them both, but he actually consulted the monitor, whereas he didn't here. He overturned his decision, but I don't know why he hasn't gone to the monitor in the final. I really don't. If they did it, what was that, Leverkusen, the quarter-final? They should be doing it in the final.
De Vrij now down towards Godin on the right-hand touchline, far inside his own half. High ball forward, just nodded on by Lautaro Martinez, looking for Romelu Lukaku. Barella picking up the loose ball. D'Ambrosio peeling out to the right-hand touchline. He's put it out of play for a throw that will be taken. Antonio Conte, who has picked up a yellow card for complaining about the non-award of a penalty for the handball by Diego Carlos.
Do you think it was the non-award, or was it because he didn't check the monitor, Jim? Which I think if you're the manager, say, look, okay, don't give the penalty, but surely you got to consult the monitor. You did that against Leverkusen against us, but surely here it might have worked in our favour.
Well, I think he's certainly got a case.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gagliardini for Brozovic, Bastoni for Young, and Young can make his way forward now. Gagliardini showing for the ball. Centre half has played him in. Gagliardini hooking it inside the penalty area. D'Ambrosio peeling away. He's got himself isolated in that kind of area against Reguilon on a number of occasions. He's had the one chance come his way. Savilla happy just to whack it away and get it upfield, and it's a good spell from Inter. We're half an hour in. Flurry of early goal mouth action, saw both sides score inside the opening 11 minutes or so, and then there was the penalty that wasn't given shortly after that as well for the handball. It's calmed down a little bit with the chances relatively infrequent over the last 10 minutes or so, but now will be worked for the run of Lukaku, and Diego Carlos can come across and cover, and Jesus Navas will guide it back for Koundé, the Frenchman, still only 21. He's laid it back for his goalkeeper Bono, who's, even after that goal that was put past him tonight, only conceded once in his last 9 hours and twice, I should say, in the last 9 hours and 2 minutes. Ball worked forward to Reguilon, making his way down the left-hand touchline for Sevilla. Finds Ever Banega. Banega to Jordan. Down to Suso. Jesus Navas again making his way into an advanced position down the Sevilla right-hand touchline. They've played it to him now. They've worked it around the back of Ashley Young. Good movement off the ball. Good defending in the end as well by Bastoni, who just made sure that There was no room to get the cross in for Sousa. Goes out of play, and it's a goal kick for Samir Handanovic, and Inter 1-1 the scoreline.
Yeah, just going back to that penalty from Lukaku. I mean, it was right in the corner, and it had to be. Bono is a good goalkeeper, isn't he? And that save from Jimenez against Wolves, guest strike for Fernandes too. That's why he had to put it right in the corner, Lukaku. Pressure penalty, and really showed what he was made of. Perfectly placed.
It's Navas working it back to Diego Carlos again. Now down towards the left-hand touchline for Reguilon. Reguilon back for Banega. Never Banega in his last appearance for his beloved Sevilla before he moves to play football in Saudi Arabia over the course of next season. Sends a ball that's a little bit too heavy, drifting out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the Inter left-hand side. Bastoni went straight through the legs of Gagliardini. Brozovic then with Inter in all kinds of pressure, forced to concede a free kick by catching Jesus Navas. It's one of the easier decisions that Danny McAleese had tonight, and it's a free kick which will be taken 10 yards outside the box, and again very much right of centre. 33 gone, 1-1.
Yeah, Bastoni just trying a little clever pass rather than looking long, trying to work it into midfield. Little reverse ball. Brozovic, I don't think he was expecting it. I'm not even sure he was the intended target. Caught on his heels, just brought Banega down, and this is where they've got to start making these count. It's just Banega on the ball, so you know it's coming in. It's going to be an outswinger. They've overloaded the back post. De Jong, Koundé, Ocampos too.
De Jong again peeling round the back. It's in towards him. Oh, what another magnificent header! So simple but brilliantly executed, and Savilla have come from behind to lead in the 2020 Europa League final. High ball swung inside the box, and De Jong's movement from the edge of the penalty area just peeled round the back of them all. As everybody made a run towards the ball, he drifted deep into space, then attacked it, and he got the jump on Gagliardini and loops a header into the top right-hand corner. And Luke de Jong in the starting lineup tonight, having missed the last few games, only been a sub, and he has completely vindicated Lopetegui's faith. 2 headers, and Sevilla, like Luke de Jong, heading in the right direction. They lead by 2-1.
As you say, Luke de Jong and Lopetegui, I mean, he has justified it. What a call to put him in. I mean, he went bananas a moment ago, Lopetegui, when they put that ball in and it was cut out, because actually de Jong made a great run at the back post. He was free this time. He got free, but it was a better ball from Banega. He got up, just arced that header, just arcing over into the far corner. Handanovic had no chance. I mean, wonderful just to see it drop into the far corner. Great goal.
Diving header, and then a looping header. 2 very different types of goals that have given Sevilla a 2-1 lead, both from the former Newcastle United striker, who scored more goals in the last 25 minutes of a European final than he ever did in his time on Tyneside.
Well, there's only one place he could put that header to score, and that's back where it came from. Obviously the goalkeeper won't going one way where the cross is coming in, moving across the box, and then you're heading it back where it came from, using a little bit of loft, get it up and over, just so it drops down in the back of the net.
Well, when Inter had the lead, they held it for only 6.5 minutes. Now Sevilla have their noses in front. Can Inter reply similarly quickly? They've got a free kick. There are 3 in the wall. The wall's inside the penalty area. Brozovic is standing over the free kick, and he'll just clip it in, right-footed. The heads go up for it, and it's 2-2. Diego Godin. And straight away they're back on level terms. Another set piece, another routine header, and Lopetegui with a wry shake of the head. They'd done the hard work but switched off defensively, and Diego Godin scores for the second time in a European final in his career, and it is 2 apiece.
Well, he gets up really well here, Godin. I mean, I don't think he can believe it, Lopetegui, because they've just done to Sevilla what Sevilla did to Inter. Really good ball in, they're onside, right on the 6-yard box. Godin gets up really well, gets his head above the ball, he jumps over everyone. Koundé, Carlos, they can't deal with him, powers it into the back of the net. What a game this is. 2-2.
Only his second goal for the club. Scored in the 2014 Champions League final, and has scored in the Europa League final 6 years on. What a final this is. Everybody was looking ahead to Sunday's game, PSG against Bayern Munich, that has the makings potentially being a very high-scoring draw maybe and going to extra time. This one 2-2 in the first half.
Well,
two sides with magnificent defensive records coming into the game, and there's not been too many well-defended set pieces so far tonight.
Well,
two apiece.
They both have their vulnerabilities though, don't they, Jim? You know, when you're looking at it and trying to analyse it and pick holes in it, it's easy to do. You can do it at this level, find little weaknesses and just attack them. Both sides have done that, you've got to say, really well. And look, the semis had more European titles in the Europa League than there was in the Champions League. That says it all. Both these teams will be desperate to win this, you know, for vastly different reasons.
Been a funny season for Inter, ending up a point adrift of Juventus, closer than they've been for a long time, albeit that Juventus just eased up right at the end of the season. Inter on the front foot again now with Barella. Barella's got D'Ambrosio outside him. Back to Barella, edge of the penalty area. Right-footed ball scooped over the top. Didn't have the legs to get to Lukaku. Koundé heads it away. Brozovic picking it up. Referee's positioning did him no favour. And then when he eventually got past the referee and had a left-footed swipe at the ball, he completely missed it. Sevilla will bring it away. Bodies going down all over the place. It was a clash between Barella and Campos off the ball. Play goes on. The referee saw another infringement. He had his back to that one and allowed the advantage to be played. Koundé finds Diego Carlos. It's worth repeating, he's on a yellow card after giving away the very early penalty for the foul on Romelu Lukaku, and Inter haven't really been able to exploit any worries that Diego Carlos might have since then. They haven't been able to get Lukaku isolated him again since then. Reguilón has got a Campos peeling away down the left. He's worked it back midfield instead for Fernando to Banega. Banega to the right-hand side, where Jordan will turn it around the corner for Suso. Into the feet of Fernando once more. Navas waiting patiently on the right flank, but they haven't played him in yet. Switch the other way towards Campos. This is 15 outside the Inter penalty area. 2-2 the scoreline on TalkSport. Jesus Navas has it now. Back it goes from him to the edge of the penalty area. Jordan, Suso onto his left foot, right-footed ball in from Navas, and that was a brilliant piece of defending in the end from De Vrij, who trusted his goalkeeper's shout to let it go, despite the fact he was playing with such quality into a very dangerous area, just too far ahead of Luke de Jong. And Danovic judged the situation perfectly, and it goes out of play for a throw. Well,
I think he took a gamble there. De Vrij letting that go. Superb ball in again from Navas on that right-hand side. He went first time, which is even better. Crossing it on the run without a touch. Such a difficult skill, but put it right across the 6-yard box. And Campos, De Jong, both caught on their heels.
You're listening to Sevilla against Inter Milan in the Europa League final. It's live on TalkSport with McDonald's McDelivery. Order McDelivery now on the Uber Eats app. We deliver.
Well, that was Sevilla in a nutshell as well, because that was so patient. They worked their way, possession play up the pitch to enable themselves to get, 2-3 players in the box. Banega's not really going to get in the box. Fernando's not going to get in the box. Jordan isn't, but you know, if they're patient enough and build it enough, they will get 2 or 3 players in there. Maybe that's all they need.
Handball by Luke de Jong. This one spotted by the referee. Free kick goes Inter's way. Work back towards Gagliardini. Bastoni. Brozovic. Squeeze through the midfield for Barella. Barella hooking it over the top. D'Ambrosio making the run, and Reguilón heads it away and out of play for a corner, but there was a foul by D'Ambrosio, a little push, and it will be a free kick to restart play for Sevilla inside their own penalty area. 40 on the clock. In fact, he was offside as well. It's 2-2.
Yeah, the right idea from Milan, but they just never really look totally, at times, comfortable in possession compared to Sevilla. The ball's always maybe bouncing up, and there's a couple of 50-50s fight balls, whereas Sevilla always look so secure, don't they, when they're passing the ball. I think they're third best La Liga, possession-wise, just behind Barca and Real. You can see it, really accomplished.
Another free kick has been given, and it's a yellow card as Barella missed the ball but continued with his run and went into the back of Ever Banega's Achilles. He certainly made sure that he got it, knew exactly what he was doing there. And Barella picks up a 15th yellow card of the season. His disciplinary record is matched only the players on the pitch tonight by Fernando. who's in possession now from the free kick. Banega's okay. That yellow card, the first shown to an Inter player in this final. Diego Carlos was cautioned. Antonio Conte's also received the yellow card for his protest from the bench. 3.5 to go to half-time. 2-2. Jesus Navas back inside his own half for Banega. Banega turning and trying to get away from Brozovic, and he ends up on the deck again. Clipped over the top into space. Jordan will chase after it. The fry there first. Gets it back to his goalkeeper. Andanovic will clear. Headed back into the fray though after Fernando had brought it down on his chest, but there was a handball and it's a free kick to Inter on the edge of the D.
It was a cheap yellow, wasn't it, from Barella, especially fouling Banega in that sort of area, going nowhere. Still a long way to go in the game.
Gagliardini pinging it forward, right-footed, turning the Sevilla back line.
You see the frustration there, Lukaku. I mean, it's a long ball, hopeful ball, punted forward, and there was not really that much grass in behind. What Lukaku and Martinez needed was a ball into their feet to go and work it and just build play. They're turning over the ball too cheaply, I think, Inter.
D'Ambrosio. Then Godin, score of the equalising goal, gets it back to his goalkeeper. Andanovic put under immediate pressure from Ocampos, plays it out towards Bastoni. And the young man will swipe it upfield straight out of play.
That's where that pressing from Sevilla has really put Inter under a little bit of pressure, forcing them to play out. The likes of Handanovic and Godin, De Vrij, that's really their game. And I think De Vrij is a bit better than Godin, but not as comfortable as Sevilla, certainly in their own box, playing out.
Diego Carlos to Fernando. Fernando's ball forward, easily intercepted. Now Romelu Lukaku has it. He's dropped off that little bit deeper to pick up possession. Hooked it over the top for Lautaro Martinez's run. Knocked away though by Koundé. Brought down by Banega in the midfield. Banega finding Suso. And Suso will play it out towards Jesus Navas, who comes off the right-hand touchline, followed by Young. And lays it back towards the edge of his own penalty area. Koundé has it. Forward from Koundé into a little bit of space for Johan Jordan in the midfield. Jordan into the feet of De Jong on halfway. He's turned it back for Banega. Banega to Luke De Jong again. The score of the two Sevilla goals. It's Lukaku and Godin that have scored the Inter goals. Here's Ocampos trying to wriggle away from the challenge of D'Ambrosio, and he's done well. Again, the referee has acknowledged there was a foul. Fernando arcing the ball out towards the right-hand touchline, where it's nodded down by Jesus Navas. One back though by Gagliardini. Gagliardini can bring it forward, try to ride the challenge, and Ever Banega knew that there was a danger of letting him get too far upfield, so having had one go at bringing him down, he then just raised his leg up even further and made sure that he made contact, and it's a yellow card for Ever Banega.
It was so clever though from Gagliardini. He knew Banega was sliding in, so he just lifted the ball in the air. A little messy lift, we've seen him do that ever so often. Just lifted the ball about a yard in the air as he's running in motion, just to skip over Banega, but he brought him down anyway. But what a first half, absolutely pulsating, terrific game.
Sevilla won their first 5 group games. They then beat Cluj on away goals before seeing off Roma, Wolves, Manchester United, and leading in the final. Pegged back by that Diego Godin header just 2 minutes after Sevilla had their noses in front for the first time. It's ebbed and flowed quite magnificently.
Well, when Lukaku has got the ball just then, you know, he attracted 3 players, good hold-up play. He's got the runner Gagliardini just to his right-hand side, but it's a loose pass, bit of frustration. I think he's having a go at Gagliardini, but actually it's him, Lukaku, who's got to secure the ball there.
Banega out towards Jesus Navas. Suso has it. Now to Ever Banega again. Banega's ball in behind Fernando. We're in stoppage time at the end of the first half. There's only 1 additional minute to be added. Play forward by Banega to Jesus Navas down the touchline. Now Jordan controlled the ball, had 2 Inter players around him, so the referee decided there was no advantage after the earlier foul on Suso, and that's given a free kick on the right-hand touchline and another set-piece opportunity for Sevilla to try and find Luke De Jong in the middle with what will be the last action of this mesmeric first 45 minutes. Banega and Suso stand over it, but it surely is going to be Banega to take it. De Jong stands in between 2 Inter players again on the edge of the penalty area. Banega, like a baseball pitcher, getting the signal that he wants from the catcher, just a little nod, so they're all know where this is going. In it comes from Banega, heads go up for it, and it's tipped over the bar by Andanovic, but no time to take the corner. Campos it was that met it. Andanovic just not taking any chances with a header that might have cleared the bar anyway, helped it over the bar, and the half-time whistle goes. What a first 45 minutes. Inter led, trailed, and finish it back on level terms. 4 goals, plenty of controversy. Half-time, Sevilla 2, Inter Milan 2. Sainz, thank you. So goals in the first half from Lukaku, then 2 from De Jong to make it 2-1 to Sevilla. Godin equalising for Inter, and a little bit of history for him. He's now the 6th player to have scored in both the Champions League and Europa League or UEFA Cup finals. The other 5, Alan Simonsen for Borussia Mönchengladbach way back when, and then more recently Dimitri Elenichev, Hernan Crespo, Steven Gerrard, Pedro, and now Diego Godin. 2-2. Often you get games where there's a lot of scoring in the first half and it's a much more cagey affair in the second. I don't want to tempt fate, but I can't quite see this one panning out like that. I think it might be more of the same. Referee Danny McAlee gets us back underway with a shrill blast of the whistle, and Sevilla in all white with black socks are kicking from left to right in this second half, and Inter in the blue and black striped shirts, black shorts, working the ball back to their goalkeeper Samir Andanovic, who gets it away. A long right-footed ball forward towards halfway. Fernando going up for that, beating Barella in the air, and it goes out of play for a throw. This is how they line up. Sevilla, Bono in goal, Navas, Koundé, Diego Carlos and Reguilon, Jordan, Fernando and Banega, Suso, De Jong and Campos, the forward 3. Andanovic in goal for Inter, just playing out from the back amidst a Sevilla press. The Spaniards have won possession back after it was played out towards the touchline, and they have a throw in an attacking position down the left-hand side. Inter, Andanovic in goal, Godin, De Vrij, Bastoni, D'Ambrosio, Barella, Brozovic, Gagliardini and Young, and Lukaku and Martinez up front. Here's Ocampos with an opportunity to launch a long throw inside the penalty area. 2-2 the scoreline, the second minute of the second half. High ball thrown inside the box, Gagliardini heads it away, and then as it's come back out 30 yards from goal, a very speculative right-footed up and under which sails over the crossbar and out of play for a goal kick. Alongside me is David Connolly.
Well, Sevilla won possession there with that throw. Look, it wasn't a great throw, but they won it back because Inter was so poor playing out. They look like they're going to give you a chance, don't they, when they're in their own box trying to find a way past this Sevilla press. They do it so well, the Spaniards. There's Handanovic, ball at his feet, didn't want to risk playing out short, went long, kicked it straight out of play.
It was the perfect pass, but for his manager. Throw taken quickly, Koundé back to Fernando to his left for Diego Carlos on a yellow card, but Inter not been in a position so far to try and capitalise on that, as mentioned in the first half, and Inter have conceded another free kick here. Ever Banega strides towards the ball after Jordan was just blocked off by Gagliardini. Roberto Gagliardini, one of the Italian internationals in this Inter side. And Sevilla have worked it short and crisply. Out to Jesus Navas, back from him to Suso. Suso laying it to Fernando. Turn for Koundé, the former Bordeaux player. His old club, but started the French season tonight. A 0-0 draw against Nantes as the French campaign got underway. It's Gagliardini able to bring the ball forward through the midfield. Looks as though he's just caught by De Jong and got back to his feet very well, and he's able to link up well inside his own half as he controls it, plays it to his left for Bastoni. Bastoni in turn brings it under control, surveys his options and goes to his right for Godin, and then just slowed it down to walking pace. Antonio Conte, in his press conference before the game yesterday, was saying that it's important that Inter play the game at their own pace and not at Sevilla's pace, and that would be crucial. Barella having his shirt pulled there, trying to hook the ball forward. The referee spotted the infringement, and it's a free kick to Inter inside the centre circle. And we play 48, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, they've done really well as well at the start of the second half. Sevilla just screening the ball into the likes of Lukaku and Martinez. Inter had nowhere to go there. In the end, Godin was forced infield onto his weaker left peg and just lofted the ball aimlessly. But you got Fernando now sitting right in front of Lukaku. It's just very difficult to get him the ball.
Gagliardini. Back for De Vrij. Back for Gagliardini again on the left-hand touchline is Bastoni. The centre-halves splitting for Inter, going very wide. An observation you made before the game, just how good a record Sevilla have playing against sides that play with a back three. And we look back through the records, and since Lopetegui went to the club, they haven't lost a single game against a team that plays with a back 3 or 5.
Yeah, they really know how to work it. They've got to keep the ball moving, circulating side to side. Here they're on the right now. They've got the ball quickly on the left. Look at the movement on the inside. The pass was just slightly overhit, but what you need legs and energy, dynamism in there, and they've got that. The likes of Jordan, he'll run here, there and everywhere. Campos too, Suso, very mobile.
It's Inter who have it at the back. Godin laying it back for Andanovic. Not the most confident footballing goalkeeper, but he did just about get it out of harm's way, just about. And then Barella is put under pressure by Jordan, and this time it's an Inter throw, which will help them get out of trouble on the right hand side with a throw that D'Ambrosio will take. Danilo D'Ambrosio, who scored against Shakhtar in the 5-0 win in the semi-final. They'd beaten Leverkusen and Getafe in Germany prior to that. One of the sides that still had a round of 16 tie to play before lockdown started. Hadn't played the first leg of it, so it was played on neutral territory against Getafe. That could have been a very different game had Getafe scored a penalty to make it 1-1 15 minutes from time. They missed it. Christian Eriksen came off the bench and saw them off. Now in the final it's locked all square at 2-2 with about 10 minutes gone in the second period. Diego Carlos just off the ball there, raising a left arm, catching Barella. Free kick given Inter's way. Has to make sure that he doesn't get a second yellow card, Diego Carlos. Here's De Vrij. And Inter can bring the ball forward. Godin now is inside Sevilla territories. He's played it down the right-hand touchline. An opportunity for D'Ambrosio. Good shape on the ball in Martinez attacking it. Gagliardini, right-footed effort that was blocked by Fernando, who was lying prone on the ground in the penalty area. But he managed to effect the block and get it away. Now it will come back again with Gagliardini. Gagliardini back for Brozovic inside the centre circle. Now to De Vrij. Right-footed ball flicked forward from him. Controlled by Ashley Young on the upper chest. Brought back down and laid back towards the young centre-half Bastoni. His ball forward. Gagliardini goes to ground. Referee says no foul. Play allowed to continue. And, still he's not back up on his feet. He's been waved back up by the referee now. And it will be a free kick which will be taken by Sevilla not far outside their own penalty area. 2-2 on TalkSport.
Well, two pieces of superb defending here. The first one, Koundé gets a little nick on the cross just to prevent Martinez, and then I think it's Carlos with the block, goes sliding in along the ground. Superb from Sevilla. We have seen that at times, last ditch you call it, defending against United, at times against Wolves. Two pieces there, two examples, really good from the two centre-halves.
Inter looking to mix it up with a much longer, more aerial ball forward out towards the right-hand touchline on that occasion, but didn't find its intended target. Goes out of play for a throw that Sevilla will take. You're listening to Sevilla against Inter Milan in the Europa League final. It's live on TalkSport with McDonald's McDelivery. Order McDelivery now on the Uber Eats app. We deliver. Play 7.5 minutes of the second half. Inter delighted to have a good European run. They were knocked out of the Champions League in the group stage this season and last season as well, but making it through to a European final, their first in 10 years since they won the Champions League in Madrid under Jose Mourinho against Bayern Munich. Jesus Navas in possession, sends a long ball out towards Reguilón, controls it neatly. This is another excellent Sevilla move. They've quickly got it back out towards Navas, trying to stretch the Inter back line. Young blocked the cross, almost fell for Suso on the edge of the penalty area. Gagliardini able to tap it away from him to make sure it doesn't, but Barella can't bring it away. And Sevilla's possession is in a good area now. Clipped beautifully over the top by Banega. He's found Luke de Jong, twisting and turning, can't get into a shooting position, and then overextended in steering the ball outside the penalty area. Caught an Inter player, but play goes on, no foul. Banega to Suso. Suso clipping it onto his left foot, motioning to shoot, does so at the second attempt. Godin blocks it, high up in the air it goes. D'Ambrosio gets it further clear, and then Martinez is fouled 10 yards outside his own box by Fernando, and it's a free kick to Inter, which will ease the pressure again. Luc de Jong, camera on him, is certainly blowing, but Sevilla have had an excellent start to the second half.
Yeah, they really have, and just prior to that move, they started on the left-hand side. Within 2 passes, they're out down the right. Navas raiding. When Suso gets it infield, Navas is always on the outside, providing the width. Ashley Young doesn't really know what to do. Do I show him down the line? Well, then he's going to beat me there. If I show him inside, he's got the ability to put across wherever he wants. Very difficult.
Now Bastoni has given away a free kick, and he is going to get a yellow card. Firm challenge on the touchline. Yelp of pain from the Sevilla player. It was Suso that he caught. Bastoni making his way forward to try and get it. Contact minimal, but yellow card shown. The 9th of Alessandro Bastoni's season. Has had a red card as well, sent off against Bologna. Let's make sure the 21-year-old that he keeps his game head on now under these circumstances. 2-2, 10 minutes gone in the second half. Here on Talk Sport, Champions League final to come on Sunday night. Stuart Pearce alongside me for Bayern Munich against PSG. That one won't be 0-0 either. Ever Banega controlling it on the right-hand touchline. Clipping it forward for the run of Campos, who's on the right now. Bastoni knocks it away, chests it down, gets it clear. Barella put under pressure, finds Ashley Young. Young stabs it back for Bastoni. Bastoni can control it and then neatly turn it back to his goalkeeper, Samir Andanovic.
At times, Jim, though, they've got to go into the front. I mean, Lukaku made a really good run as Bastoni received it. Instead, he's gone back to his goalkeeper. And now it's a little bit too late. Concede possession, and they're just turning over the ball. Inter far too often. They've got to get it into the front. The problem is when you're playing against a side that dominates possession, when you get it back, you've got to have a spell. Instead, it's turning over. That means you just can't get your front two into the game and use them, and that's the real strength of the Inter side.
It is very nearly 60-40 in terms of possession over the whole game as a piece. Second half, albeit we're only 10 minutes into the second half, Inter have actually slightly shaded it. 54% of the ball since half-time, but it is Sevilla that have looked the much better team in this second period, and they will make their way forward again. Great vision of Campos, knowing that Reguilon was making a run out to his left-hand side, and he's found him in space with an aerial pass. He'll now take on Godin inside the area. Side netting only as he's shot from a tight angle, and he punches the ground in dismay that he couldn't at least hit the target. He scored that fantastic goal against Roma earlier in this European run. He couldn't find the finish that time, and it remains 2-2.
Well, again, another super little move from Sevilla. Get the ball into a Campos, lifts it outside to Reguilon. He's so quick, ducks inside. He's 1v1 against Godin, thinks, I got to beat him, just lifts it over him, bursts into the box, but couldn't quite get it across goal. Missed at the near post.
Here is Andanovic. The goalkeeper in all orange plays it out to the right-hand side of the area for Godin. Scored the second goal for Inter Milan, equalising after they had taken an early lead which had lasted 6.5 minutes. Sevilla equalised and then took the lead themselves, just past the half-hour mark. That lead lasted only 2 minutes before Godin scored. Well,
just looking at how Sevilla are defending here, Inter have got the ball. They do drop back the two midfielders just to screen in a sort of like a 4-2-3-1, just to stop Martinez getting the ball. You can see Jordan screening him, Fernando screaming Lukaku. Very difficult for Inter.
Here's Brozovic, Lukaku, flick round the corner, opportunity for D'Ambrosio, who won his battle to keep it in play, hooks it in right-footed, it hits the defending Reguilon and goes out of play for a corner. But that was much better from Inter, sharper. D'Ambrosio, who has looked lively getting forward, has done very well there just to be able to pull it back. And this is Inter's first corner of the game. Sevilla have only had one themselves, and 58 minutes in, it's an opportunity for Inter. They've worked it short to Brozovic, space towards the edge of the penalty area for Barella, now for Ashley Young, right-footed effort from Young, and he's curved it over the bar, couldn't get it to fade in time. Out of play for a goal kick, 2-2.
Yeah, it's ambitious. I'm not too sure why they took it short. In the end, took 3 or 4 passes to get it 20 yards out to Young, getting pressured side on. Very difficult skill to whip that sort of angle, middle of the box. just put it in there. You know, you can see Savilla defending zonally, put it in there. You've got a big side, Godin, for example, up there, and Bastoni, Lukaku, put it in there. See how they defend.
Has scored in the Europa League this season. Ashley Young in Manchester United colours. 3 appearances for them in the competition and 4 now for Inter. Will he get a winner's medal? De Vrij to Godin. 14 into the second half. 2-2 it remains here on TalkSport with extra time and penalties if necessary. Bastoni, who's one of 4 players on yellow cards. 2 for each team. Brozovic into the feet of D'Ambrosio ahead of him. Back it comes for Brozovic, the former World Cup finalist. Linking up with Barella in the midfield, just calming things down. The fulcrum in the middle of the 3 midfielders for Inter. They'll be able to bring it forward now with De Vrij. De Vrij's ball forward. Over the top, Jordan again doing a very good job of blocking off the path of the pass into Lautaro Martinez. And Martinez and Lukaku, very potent partnership. I mentioned the 54 goals they've got, but if you can't feed them the ball, they're not going to be able to extend that run even further tonight.
No, and that shows you the skill. I think the tactical awareness of Lopetegui, nothing less than you'd expect, but in the final, rather than have one sitter, he's gone with 2 when they don't have the ball. That's just a stop. The ball's going into Lukaku and Martinez. They would have seen, you know, against Shakhtar and Leverkusen, how often they got it into feet. They got to screen that, and they've done it really well.
Koundé plays it to Jesus Navas, right hand side of the area. Good ball in. Coming across the cover was De Vrij, headed away and then scooped further clear down the left hand touchline by D'Ambrosio. Now to play for a throw, which will be taken by Jesus Navas. Short from him to Suso. Suso's ball inside the penalty area. Luke de Jong, who's on a hat-trick, couldn't get on the end of the cross. Cleared, but only as far as the edge of the box of Reguilon. Right-footed shot from Ocampos. That sails over the top right-hand corner, and Luke de Jong just gave a bit of an old-fashioned look there. Just wonder whether Ocampos is going to get the full 90 minutes tonight. Of course, it could be 120, but he's carrying this injury. Talked about the thigh being strapped up. Noticeable that there's more strapping on it for the second half than there was for the first, which perhaps indicates a potential problem. And he was just leaning over there, having hit that right-footed effort towards goal. Just wonder whether that will be in their minds that they might have to make a change shortly. They've got Munir, the Spanish winger, former Barcelona man, that they can bring on in his position. But Ocampos has covered a lot of ground here to come back and was caught by D'Ambrosio. The referee's whistle is gone, and it's another free kick. 61 gone, 2-2 the score.
Well, just looking at Inter as well, what they do on goal kicks at times, they get the centre-half to take it, to pass it to their goalkeeper. You know, they get the 2 centre-halves inside the 6-yard box, so there's 3 players in there. Back to Handanovic, obviously he's got time on the ball then to pick a longer pass. The problem is that his distribution is not that great, often misplaced, and they haven't retained possession.
Godin. For De Vrij, the only one of the Inter outfield players who was inside his own half when he picked up possession. They'll bring it forward again. Now the ball goes in towards Martinez, who just shuffled away from Jordan and able to pick it up. Plays it wide towards Godin. Right-footed ball down the right-hand touchline. Everybody was expecting a high ball inside the box, including all of his teammates, and he just rolled it down the right-hand touchline. What he hoped was a well-disguised ball for D'Ambrosio. It's so well-disguised that nobody read it at all, and it's a goal kick.
Well, I love that look on Conte's face as well, you know, when he's just so angry and frustrated, he just can't believe it. He's got that look, you know, just disdain on his face, like, goodness me, it's not that difficult, come on. He knows this hasn't been a great performance in the second half, and I think you're right, Ocampos, I think he is struggling. He doesn't seem as mobile as we have seen him previously. His movement looks a little bit restricted, especially when he's striking the ball.
He's just given a free kick away here, which Inter have taken short, worked across the back line. Bastoni finding Gagliardini. Played 18 minutes in the second half on TalkSport. It's 2-2 as it's been now for half an hour. De Vrij back for Diego Godin. Godin is able to bring it forward and play down towards the right-hand touchline for D'Ambrosio.
They've had too many passes, Jim, Inter, you know, along the back. They need to get it into the middle of the park, get someone facing forwards, driving at the likes of Fernando and Jordan. Just got to suck one of them out to get the ball into Martinez and Lukaku.
Talked about the fact that they've had more possession in the second half. That's why they've had more possession, because they've just been passing it between the centre halves.
Well, it's really good tactics from Lopetegui, and that's why they've got to be wise enough now into and know, right, how are we going to break this down? I know we need to get it into Gagliardini, for example, Brozovic. They've got to turn face forwards, try and suck out Jordan, suck out Fernando, try and release Martinez and Lukaku. We just haven't done it enough.
Fernando finds Jesus Navas now. Navas will be able to make his way forward towards the edge of the penalty area, ball in towards Luke de Jong. Godin had followed his run every step of the way and was in strongly. Luke de Jong went down but was quickly back on his feet. Ball worked back for Andanovic to Bastoni. Bastoni had to go back to his goalkeeper. He scoops it away awkwardly with the outside of his right boot. Koundé heads it back into the penalty area. I think Navas thought he was offside and couldn't make an attempt to Banega, I beg your pardon, couldn't make an attempt to try and play it. And now Inter will be able to break, and they've got it over the top of the Sevilla back line, and it's Lukaku, and it's Romelu Lukaku. Great save. Goalkeeper Bono came right out towards the edge of the penalty area and made a crucial stop. And it could have been 3-2 to Inter Milan. The counter-attacking opportunity that they've been playing out from the back. Finally they broke the press and worked it on the counter, but they couldn't take the chance. And it's an outstanding piece of goalkeeping from Bono. Yeah,
he just dug his team out of jail there. I mean, Carlos committed himself, and it was one simple ball over the top. He got it wrong. He's bearing down on goal, and Bono, as we saw, brilliant against United. Again, closes the angle down, blocks the shot from Lukaku. Superb goalkeeping from the Sevilla stopper. Really, really good. Just to be patient, but recognise on this touch from Lukaku, he realises, I can't stay at home here, I've got to come out. It's a little bit of a heavy touch. He closes it down, spreads himself really well. We saw him do that so many times. I think especially one of the chances that Martial had, that was similar. Conte put his hands in, he said, no, I can't believe it, you know. Obviously, one-on-one, bearing down from the halfway line, you'd probably put your mortgage on Lukaku. I don't think Conte's got a mortgage, but if he did,
yeah, probably not these days. I'll give you that. The run was perfectly timed for Romelu Lukaku, who was in to win another free kick for a foul on Ashley Young, because he was behind the two centre halves but inside his own half.
Yeah.
So I think Diego Carlos thought that he got him offside, and he had to an extent, apart from the fact that Lukaku had just been able to bend his run to stay inside his own half of the field before making his way forward. But he couldn't take the chance to score what would have been goal number 35. And it's still locked together at 2 apiece. Diego Godin taking up some slightly more adventurous attacking positions down the right-hand side now. Gets it again from Gagliardini. Back from him to Barella. To Gagliardini, and Brozovic comes back, and it's his positioning that covers Godin's adventurous nature, and he will sweep up and find Godin, and they'll build again.
But look, again, Gagliardini often he goes backwards, sideways. What they need, here we go, sideways again to Bastoni. What they need a Banega, Inter. They actually had him, didn't they? But I know he didn't really cover himself in glory there, but it was a short spell. But they need a playmaker, someone just to play forward into the front two.
Yeah, 30-odd games he had in just 1 year at the Giuseppe Meazza. 6 goals in his time before making the move back to Spain. Ever Banega. We're midway through the second half at 2 apiece.
Well, they've got Ericsson. He might be that man, I think, who could unlock a door, get it, play into the front two. Might be him I'll be looking to bring on at some point pretty soon. Because at the minute they're having possession just for possession's sake. They're not going anywhere. As you look at Sevilla, they really do progress up the pitch. Inter don't.
Christian Eriksen, a losing finalist in Europe last year with Tottenham in the Champions League. Will he get the opportunity now to come on in the Europa League? A little bit of action on the benches by the look of it. It's Gagliardini, right-footed ball inside the box. Lukaku getting quite a heavy touch with his head to steer it into a wider position rather than just flick it on behind him. Inter read it, D'Ambrosio getting it back, going back for Godin, who's starting positions now a good 10 yards further forward than it was. Here's Brozovic after Gagliardini's pass, and Brozovic caught in 2 minds there, looked for Bastoni to his left and just whacked it straight out of play, 10 yards past him up the touchline. And it's a throw which will be taken on the Sevilla right. And Ocampos' race might have been run now. He is lying in some pain on the deck. And Munir El Haddadi is going to be the man that will come on to replace him. He scored a hat-trick in Europe earlier this season against Luxembourgeois opposition Dudelingen. And he made 50-odd appearances for Barcelona. He's made almost an identical number for Sevilla and will be coming on to replace Ocampos. The first change that either side have made, coming with just over 20 minutes to go of normal time.
I'm sure that's a change that Lopetegui envisaged happening. I mean, he never looked fit, did he, really, from the first minute? Wasn't moving as well, and just giving the signal there that, yep, that is it, he is done. I'm sure he's put on a performance there for his team, his manager, Ocampos not being fit, and that'll be a blow, not having him on the pitch, that's for sure.
Lopetegui pacing up down the edge of the technical area in his dark polo shirt, prowling. See the cogs ticking. Campos is back on his feet, being led away. There's no chance he's going to be able to continue. And it will be Munir who will come on. He's in double figures this season in terms of goals. 10 he has scored, but it is their leading scorer that is the man who is making way, Lucas Ocampos, who's had an excellent first season after his move from Marseille. Just worth repeating something that we talked about in Sevilla's games earlier in the competition, but this is a side that's been built from scratch over the course of the last year. The 11 that have started tonight, only 2 of them were at the club at the end of the previous campaign. That's Jesus Navas and Eva Banega. Everybody else brought in, and they got the metrics right. We talked about the Press Sporting director Monkey and the work that he has been able to do. They've built and assembled an excellent squad that have qualified for the Champions League again, but will they be able to win this competition for the 6th time? Diego Carlos, while Ocampos was being strapped up, has also had a huge strapping put around his thigh as well. So the centre-half, who Lukaku's got the beating of pace anyway, might be even further restricted now. It's 20 minutes of normal time to go. Change has been made, and play now resumes with a Savilla throw that the referee has said you can't take it yet, because Diego Carlos, having received treatment, has got to go off the field of play to come back on before you can restart. So Diego Carlos does come off, just has a little word with the substitute Gudelia, who's warming up. And now the throw will be taken and hooked for by Koundé, and now he's given permission to come back on. The referee looks a little bit pernickety, but he's got no option there. He's got to do it like that. Inter win a free kick as Barella played the ball to his left-hand side. There was a high challenge on Martinez, and this is a decent opportunity for Inter. It was Koundé with the indiscretion. Initially played the ball, and then as Martinez kicked through it, he ended up just catching Koundé's foot, and maybe a little bit fortunate to win the free kick. Lukaku amongst the targets waiting for him. 18 to go. It's Luke de Jong who's trying to deal with Lukaku here. Ashley Young preparing to swing this in right-footed. He actually walks away and then comes back towards it. It's a good ball in. Almost found Godin. Great movement from him. Any kind of little feathered touch from Godin would have been his second goal of the night. But the goalkeeper was there and was able to punch it clear. And Sevilla can build from the back again. 2-2.
Yeah, brilliant ball in from Ashley Young, that in-swinger. But they don't hang around Sevilla. They got it back now, and Inter on the back foot.
And it is Banega making his way forward. Suso to his right. Luke de Jong ploughing that furrow through the middle. Munir is waiting as well. De Jong drops off, plays it back behind Banega to find Suso. Wearing 41 for Sevilla. He's played it out towards the left-hand touchline. Movement from Munir, and Godin has gone with him. And as such, there is space for Sevilla to work. They couldn't on that occasion. But it's interesting there, seeing similar patterns of play to those that they generated against Roma, drawing the right-footed centre-half out of position. Jesus Navas makes his way forward now, and that was unsubtle from Gagliardini, who knew a yellow card was coming after he pulled his shirt as hard as he can to stop him.
Well, he's just got that little injection of pace, Navas, despite his age. Obviously, what was he, 34, 35, and he's got no sign of slowing up. Just shifts it really quickly, and then he's past Gagliardini. Doesn't have the legs. I wouldn't say it's the most mobile of Milan's midfield, that's for sure. Inter's, those three. And this is where they've looked so dangerous. Similar sort of area, wasn't it, to Ocampos' goal against Wolves. Wide free kick on the right.
Because on that occasion it was a player making a run towards the ball with a little flick header in the inside right channel. Luke de Jong stands, both hands above his head. Where's he going? And are Inter going to be able to deal with him? It's Gagliardini that's wrestling him as the ball comes in. And Godin's an overhead kick. Oh, what a stunning goal! And it's Diego Carlos, who many will feel shouldn't be on the field at all, that has given Sevilla the lead with an overhead kick from a set piece. And Sevilla lead Inter by the odd goal in 5. Lukaku unable to get the ball away, just kicked it into the roof of his net. And Diego Carlos adds insult to injury. Could well have been sent off in the opening 5 minutes, but now has supplied what could be the crucial, most significant and devastating blow of the night.
Well, it's probably the goal of his life. Acrobatic overhead here. He actually could have left it to Koundé, but in the end thought, no, I'm going to take this on. It's gone with the overhead. It's taken a little deflection of Lukaku. I mean, his goalkeeper Handanovic pleased him, saying, what are you doing? Maybe let it go. Was it going in? Possibly, but Lukaku stuck his right peg out and hit it into his own net. But terrific technique from Carlos. That's a comical lone goal in the end. I mean, what is Lukaku doing?
Jubilation on the Sevilla bench. Ocampos in tears of delight and ecstasy, following the tears of pain from that injury moments ago. It may well go down as a Romelu Lukaku own goal. I haven't seen a definitive camera angle that suggests whether the initial effort was going in or not. I would suggest maybe just a fraction wide, and it could well be a Lukaku own goal. So Inter chasing the game, 15 minutes to go, trailing by 3 goals to 2 in this absorbing 2020 Europa League final. And Lopetegui, who's never won a trophy as a manager, is only 15 minutes away from taking Sevilla to a 6th success in this competition, which will be as many as any other 2 clubs put together. Christian Eriksen's going to be coming on for Inter very shortly. They've got to do something now to try and chase this with 14 minutes left and 3-2 Sevilla leading.
Well, you know my thoughts, Jim. We said about Eriksen about 10-15 minutes ago, he should have come on sooner. They might have been able to progress up the pitch a little bit better rather than this aimless possession that they have. Haven't done enough with it. It's almost, well, I'm not saying it's too late, but I would have just got him on the pitch earlier. The game was, certainly for Inter, was crying out for a playmaker in there, and they're going to make a triple change.
Victor Moses and Alexis Sanchez are going to be coming on. Gudelja is going to be coming on as well for Sevilla. Victor Moses on the bench when Chelsea won this competition back in 2013, but it wasn't used as a substitute that day. But he is going to get the opportunity to come on very shortly. 13 minutes to go. Luke de Jong going up for it, and the referee has stopped play. I think it was a foul by de Jong and a signal that change is going to be made. Franco Vasquez is going to be coming on for Sevilla, and he will replace Suso. Vasquez, who scored the last time that he played against Inter, that was when he was a Palermo player back in a league game in 2016. And it's a winger for a winger. He can play anywhere really across that forward line. Inter will make a triple change. Gagliardini replaced by Eriksen. Martinez replaced by Alexis Sanchez. And Victor Moses will be the last of the 3 to come on, and he will replace Barella. So Sanchez, Moses and Eriksen for Barella, Gagliardini and Martinez. Victor Moses still on loan at Inter from Chelsea. Christian Eriksen, who signed in a £17 million deal from Spurs back in January, played in the Champions League final last season. And Alexis Sanchez, who was in the Manchester United side, beaten by Sevilla in the round of 16 in the Champions League a couple of years ago. Now an Inter player permanently, and he's on as well, hoping to add to the 4 goals that he scored for the club so far. They've got 12 minutes to try and turn this around, but they've lost possession in a dangerous area, and Vasquez's first contribution since coming on is to make the most of the error from Barella. Vasquez, who can play as a 10 or an 8, or indeed on the right flank, has taken up the latter position. He can't find a way past Bastoni, and he goes down to play for a Sevilla throw. They're 12 minutes away.
Well, what they need to do into is just get the ball to Ericsson as often as they can. And if he's not receiving, he's got to just drop deeper and deeper, just so he can get on the ball, get them playing forward. They've got that energy now of Alexis Sanchez. See Lukaku, those pairing. They just need the ball.
Vasquez to Navas, back for Vasquez, and that's a foul. Ashley Young will be spoken to, but it will be a free kick which will be taken, and the referee is just indicating to Vasquez that he's okay, doesn't need any treatment. It's to get back up on his feet quickly. It was Barella actually that caught him as he tried to get the ball back, Vasquez, and just kicked up, caught his man. But it is another free kick, wide in the right position on the touchline. Sevilla have played 5 finals in the past. They've won them all against Middlesbrough, Espanyol, Benfica, Dnipro and Liverpool. Are they going to add Inter's name to that excellent catalogue? Eva Banega swinging this free kick inside the area, and it was a header over the bar from Koundé. Had he let it run, Diego Carlos coming in behind him might have had a free header for 4-2.
Well, he's had a free header nearly in every game I've watched back, certainly in the last couple. Koundé couldn't hit the target there either. Brilliant ball in, almost similar sort of area to the Carlos goal, wide. Banega, he's got the whip and he's got the dip, he's got the pace. Great ball in. Koundé just couldn't keep the header down. We've seen that before. Saw it against Roma and Wolves. Had so many chances. If he could finish, because he's certainly put on a top performance here tonight. If he could add goals to his game as a centre half, wow.
You're listening to Sevilla against Inter Milan in the Europa League final, live on Talk Sport with McDonald's McDelivery. Order McDelivery now on the Uber Eats app. We deliver. 10 minutes to go. Could still be extra time if necessary. Inter have had a few late goals in the recent past as well. 3 in the last 16 minutes of that 5-0 win against Shakhtar in the semi-final. They also scored in the last 10 minutes against Getafe in the round of 16, but they need something late dramatic here with 10 minutes to go. A match in which they led early on, but now finding themselves trailing for the second time tonight. Christian Eriksen's got possession. He's worked it neatly down towards Ashley Young on the Inter Milan left-hand side. Corner of the penalty area. He's inside the box. Gets it back from Eriksen, but sliding challenge just knocked it away from him in the nick of time. Godin to Barella. Barella for Bastoni, left-footed ball in from him, too high for Lukaku. Victor Moses trying to bulldoze his way in, poked towards goal by Alexis Sanchez. Koundé clears it off the line, and Sevilla's lead is still intact.
Great defending here from Koundé. I mean, they just keep the ball alive. Really good ball in from Bastoni, lands at the feet of Victor Moses. The touch just gets away from him, clatters into the goalkeeper, ricochets. In the end, Koundé just clears it.
That might have been his moment. Victor Moses hasn't scored a goal as yet for Inter. And then Alexis Sanchez poking it goal bound. He wasn't able to get anything more than the studs on the ball, and as a result couldn't get the purchase that was needed. And consequently Koundé was able to clear it off the line. He only moved to Sevilla in a €20 million deal last summer. I think his value would be significantly greater than that if he was to be tempted away. Still the goal officially for Sevilla that has given them the 3-2 lead is credited to Diego Carlos, but I'm sure it ultimately probably should go down as a Romelu Lukaku own goal. But would you deny centre-half a winning goal in a European final with an
bicycle
overhead
kick? Yeah, absolutely. Goal of his life.
I think Lukaku will be happy to let him have it, but many will feel that he shouldn't have been on the field anyway.
I mean, the thing is, you couldn't begrudge them having the lead at this moment in play based on the game. You know, I think they've been superb. Sevilla got their tactics spot on, defended really well, put their bodies on the line, as we can see here. There's a couple struggling, obviously. Koundé with that clearance. Fernando here, looks like he's got a bit of a hurt hand.
Yeah, you're not missing anything. Lengthy treatment being administered to Fernando. It's his wrist that is being strapped up. There were 3 white-shirted defenders stricken inside the penalty area after that effort. Ball put out of play for a throw, which is now taken. Alexis Sanchez wrestling his way through. Thought he'd won a corner, but instead he's flagged offside. And it's a free kick to Sevilla. with 7 minutes plus stoppage time to go. And Fernando now will make his way back on, holding that wrist very gingerly, which is strapped up, and he's got his left hand in a position of comfort up towards the centre of his chest. But they'll do everything they can to keep the old war horse on for the time that remains. And Antonio Conte won this competition as a player back in 1993 with Juventus. He's hoping that somebody in blue and black will be able to provide some inspiration. Otherwise, the 9-year trophy drought will be extended further. Gudelj will be coming on very shortly. Finally going to make the change. Savilla, that seemed likely a few minutes ago. Inter have got possession, but they're much deeper inside their own half. Well, 6 to go, it's 3-2 Savilla.
What they're going to have to do, which they have done at times when I've watched them, but not enough, is almost go Sheffield United here and Chrissy Wilder and get those outside centre-backs overlapping, get them higher up the pitch. They don't need to keep 3 back now. They've got to go for broke.
Moses might break for Lukaku. Diego Carlos got a little bit lucky as it bounced his way, and then it's cleared well by Reguilon straight into Moses and out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken by Sevilla. By the time it's taken, we'll be in the final 5 minutes. So a double change for Sevilla. Gudelj and En-Nesyri are the players that will be entering the field. Luke de Jong, the first man to make way, recall to the starting lineup tonight and thoroughly vindicating his manager's faith in him with those 2 headers. And En-Nesyri, the player who was disappointed to have been left out, stands and gives a massive ovation to de Jong as he comes off, and En-Nesyri, the Moroccan international, on to replace him for the final 5 minutes.
Well, in this Monkey series, you know, one of the very first things he says is about everyone going in the one same direction. You know, the sporting director's got to be, you know, friends with the manager. They can't not speak. They've got to be on the same wavelength. Like the players, you've got to be close to everyone. And certainly Sevilla, they put so much stock in this Europa League. They are definitely all going in the right direction. You can see that.
Well, Gudelj is going to be the second player coming on for Sevilla. The man he's replacing is leaving the field very, very slowly. It is Diego Carlos who's coming off. Been having the problem with his thigh and his hamstring for a good few minutes, and now makes way. So Gudelj on to replace him. Gudelj is a defensive-minded midfielder. So does that mean that Fernando's going to be dropping in at centre-half? It'll be interesting to see how they've shuffled things round. Well, Gudelj is in there himself.
Yeah, like for like at this moment in time. I mean, it was a heavy strapping, but at this stage of the season, there's probably half the players on that pitch carrying something, but just might have been a little bit too much for Carlos.
It's who's carrying the big trophy in 15 minutes' time that matters. Here's De Vrij. Inside his own half of the centre circle. 3.5 minutes to go. I think the dynamics of the game will change from this point onwards. You can expect it's going to be into the vast majority of possession. Sevilla hoping to keep him out and have a few counter-attacking opportunities. Gudelj, if anything, is actually playing almost as a conventional sweeper, with Fernando dropping in at centre-half alongside Koundé, and Gudelj playing much deeper than the pair of them, a la Connor Cody. Victor Moses battling, can't win anything. Inter can't get a really good grip of the ball. They can't string passes together to create opportunities. And Lopetegui still prowling nervously, knows how close the finishing line is for his team now. So they look to extend their unbeaten streak to 21 in all competitions. They've got another free kick. Every time the play is stopped, there's no discernible hurry to restart it. Christian Eriksen leans over the opponent. I think it's Fernando that has just been caught there. Oh, it's En-Nesyri. And Brozovic has given the free kick away. 2.5 to go. Sevilla 3, Inter 2. And the Spaniards within touching distance now. Some long faces on those on the Inter Milan bench. It's their 10th European final. They've won 6 and lost 3. Beaten in the past by Celtic and Ajax in the European Cup final, by Schalke in this competition, and seemingly they're going to be beaten by Sevilla tonight. Ball's out for a throw. Very little football being played now with 2 minutes to go. Reguilon taking the throw. One back in the midfield by Barella, but Another free kick is conceded.
Well, this is exactly what Sevilla will want here now. You know, just little time wasting, little cynical fouls from Inter. Just wasting valuable seconds. They've got to keep the ball alive, Inter, and just try and get it into the front now. Gudelj is at the back. Can you get it into Lukaku? See if he can make something happen. He's obviously up against a midfielder now, playing at the back. So stick it over the top, get him to run onto something. Poor giveaway from Savilla. They just need to get the ball forward here.
Moses to Eriksen. Eriksen turning it around the corner for Lukaku. Lukaku on the turn has got it wide towards the right hand side. Christian Eriksen's onside. Alexis Sanchez making his way to the middle. Got the top of his head to it, but Jesus Navas can just shepherd it back to his goalkeeper. And it remains 3-2, and we're in the 90th minute.
Yeah, they got that right eventually to Lukaku. Spun it round the corner to Eriksen. Comes to Sanchez on his head. He tries to flick it back towards goal, but he must realise there's no one else up top. He's the last man. He's got to actually head that back towards his own goal, because Lukaku got up to support him. Just head it back, maybe on the edge of the box. Lukaku might have made it.
Another change, and Godin is coming off, and Candreva is the player who will come on to replace him. So it's a centre half off and a right-sided midfielder on, Antonio Candreva. Another wily, old, experienced veteran, more than 50 caps for Italy, more than 500 games in his club career. Can he be the man to make the difference? We'll be in stoppage time very shortly. De Vrij plays it back to his goalkeeper. They drop Brozovic in at centre half now. Almost they're playing a stretched back four are into, with Brozovic in possession. Ashley Young, who's playing at right back but getting forward whenever he can. He's on his way. There are 6 additional minutes to be played. De Vrij finding Bastoni. Poke forward by Bastoni to find De Vrij. Now Candreva, who's operating in a more central position. Eriksen peeling out towards the right hand side. Moses has been able to find it. Back it comes onto the right hand touchline. Clipped inside the area. Right footed effort, Candreva just couldn't make the contact that he needed. Goalkeeper's got a touch to it. He's flicked it onto the nearest defender, and it goes out of play for a corner. Only into second of the night. Christian Eriksen to take it. And so often these deliveries can hit the nearest defender, but can he get the elevation needed this time? Flights it in. Heads go up, and it was cleared by Vasquez inside the box. Barella picks it up on halfway. Sevilla push forward. Barella into the feet of Brozovic. Gets the return ball. 5 minutes of stoppage time to go. Sevilla 3, Inter Milan 2. And a foul by Alexis Sanchez, and play will stop again as the writhing Sevilla player rolls into the referee. And it is going to be a free kick. The right decision, no doubt about that. It was a foul by Alexis Sanchez. And a free kick to Sevilla with 4.5 to go. Sevilla 3 into 2.
Yeah, heavy touch there from Sanchez, just running back into traffic. And they win the foul, but that was a really good opportunity for Candreva, wasn't it? Good ball into the box. He had to stretch and lunge for it, but didn't get a clean contact. That man Bono was there again, and they've needed him. It's been absolutely brilliant, hasn't he? He was against United. He has been here.
Well, he's had a number of fantastic contributions defensively. Bono, some outstanding saves. And as a result, Inter still haven't found what they're looking for. Lukaku heading the ball through the midfield. Played forward by Jesus Navas. A high one out towards the Sevilla left. Victor Moses going up for it defensively. He's slotted in now on the right-hand side at the back. Sevilla substitutes are off the bench now. They know that they're close. It'll be a massive celebration in about 4 minutes' time, providing they don't concede again. And they've won another throw as it's flicked off Victor Moses, which Munir has no intention of taking. He's just walking away with the ball in his hand. And Antonio Conte, who would have indulged in similar tactics so many times during his career as a combative midfielder, knowing the old tricks, is just attracting the referee's attention to the time wasting that's going on. Moses hooks it forward after the throw is retaken, out of play for another throw, which will be taken on the Sevilla left-hand side by Gudelj. 3 to go, 3-2 to Sevilla. Ball is in the hands of Reguilon. Suspicion that might have been a foul throw as he launched it forward towards En-Nesyri. En-Nesyri showed too much of it towards Bastoni. It was a coming together between the pair of them, and it's a free kick to Inter, but they're not too far outside their area. Can they create one more chance of the quality of the one that fell to Candreva just a few moments ago? Barella sold short by a ball. He was backtracking through the midfield, expecting it into feet, and it was just dropped short. And as a result, Sevilla have won it back, and they've won another throw, and they're nearly there.
Yeah, so sloppy there from Inter, playing out, just got it wrong, and that's all the encouragement those Sevilla support staff need. And when we saw that against United, the ones in suits cheering the team on, they really covet this trophy. They want it desperately. It's a trophy that made them. That's what Monkey said. You know, that's what made us famous, winning the UEFA Cup then, Europa League now.
And they're in the 95th minute, and they lead by 3 goals to 2. Have a throw. Reguilon takes it down towards the corner flag. Victor Moses doing everything he can to make sure that he gets possession back from Ever Banega without fouling him. Throw to Inter, which Candreva will take. He's nicked a good 10-15 yards already.
Yeah, take from where though? Certainly wasn't from there, but he's got it back. Again, those sloppy pass given straight back to Sevilla.
It's just hitting hope from Inter.
Yeah.
And the hope is quickly running out. Munir has it. Takes it down towards the dead ball line. Moses gets it back. Candreva on the corner quadrant. Flicks it infield towards Brozovic. Back for Moses. Moses didn't have the time that he thought. It's nicked off his toes. Ever Banega's got it. Taking on Eriksson, trying to win a corner. Ends up going out of play for a goal kick. But by the time Handanovic has taken it, we'll have barely 60 seconds to go. And it's going to be extraordinarily dramatic if Inter can salvage extra time from here. They trail 3-2. The yellow-booted Eriksson working it through the midfield. Bastoni inside his own half. Left-footed ball curved forward over Lukaku's head, over the head of Reguilon, and Candreva can't get there in time to put any pressure on him, and it's gone over the line and out of play for a goal kick, and that will just about be that.
Yeah, they've run out of ideas, Inter, as they have for most of this second half. I mean, look, you've got to say Sevilla have been superb. They've stuck to their way of playing, their philosophy. Possession, dominant. It certainly worked. They just restricted Inter to nothing really. Had a little bit more of the ball, but done nothing with it. Couldn't get it into the front. Didn't have a playmaker. When they did, they brought him on too late. I think they've lost to the better side here.
Bono, only now, takes the goal kick. 10 seconds plus whatever the referee wants to add on for time wasting. He's taken a bounce. It's his Ashley Young, gone out of play for a throw. It's not going to be European silverware for the likes of Young and Lukaku. It is Sevilla's night. They regard this as their trophy, and it is their trophy again. They've done it the hard way again. The third time in a row that they've reached the final of this competition, conceded first, but end up getting their hands on the silverware. Huge congratulations to a side that has been completely rebuilt over the last 12 months by Monkey, by Julien Lopetegui, who wins his first trophy as a manager, and an assembly of players who've come from all over the continent to play for the famous side in the red and white, and they've done a wonderful job. They slumped to the turf. Expressions of ecstasy. A job well done in controversial circumstances. Inter taking the lead very early on. They thought that Diego Carlos should have been sent off for his challenge, which gave away the penalty. But as a result, he stayed on the field. He got a yellow card and then scored the overhead kick, which won them the game 16 minutes from time. Inter's long trophy drought continues into a 10th year. There were since the early 1960s, but it is in Seville that they will be celebrating long into the night. Sevilla 3, Inter Milan 2. It's Sevilla that win the 2020 Europa League.